What's up, everybody? We are playing, or watching, not playing actually, the 2022 Dune Imperium with the Rise of Ix expansion tournament hosted by Artificery, and I am commentating. We are in round 2. This is table 2, and we are in round number 1, the skirmish, with Ilban in the first position. We have Baron Harkonnen in the second position. We have Helena in the third position and Ecaz in the fourth position. So this should be a pretty good match. We're already in the middle of it. So yeah, let's get to it. We've had Ilban went Dune Desert Planet over to the smuggling. And then we had Harkonnen Signet Ring over to Carthag, which is a very good early play. He managed to get his a pretty decent pull for intrigue cards. The Cull card. He was able to oh no, sorry, he's fold spaced first. I missed this. There's a fold space, 2 fold space. No, he played to full space. Seek allies. And then Signet Ring over to Carthag. And that is what happened. And then we had Helena, who went for Dune Desert Planet over to Arachne and drew a dagger, and then Reconnaissance down to, Dune Desert Planet over to Imperial Basin, and then Reconnaissance over to Arachne. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. I have had to run home to catch this game. So I apologize if I am a little flustered and I was just a couple minutes late. We'll go over everything as this unfolds first, and then we have Ecaz played a Diplomacy over to Wealth, which is a pretty solid start, and then Signet Ring grabbing in the shadows just now. One of the best cards, I think, in the game, and definitely one of the strongest cards for Ecaz because it's a 3 or lower cost card that he can get with his Signet Ring ability. Which is so strong if the right cards come up in the Imperium row. And that's where we are right now. It looks like red, this Helena, is going to contest this combat right now, and everyone is getting ready to reveal. And our Imperium row, we gotta check out the Imperium row, and we gotta check out the tech, because I missed 1 or 2 things here. We have Ilban took power play, nothing for the Baron just yet. Apologies. Helena is about to reveals 5-buy for probably the Smuggler's Lapter, or is he going to go for Chani here? There's a couple of options. We have 2 Bene Gesserits. Oh, we're going to get the Initiate. I think the Initiate's quite good. Initiate and Arrakis Liaison. Keeping options open. Always good to have those green icons, the green and blue icons as Helena, because you're never blocked at them. So that's very strong for this player. And what do we see over here? We got Ecaz picking up the space travel. Things are just flying by. Everyone is playing like blistering speed here. This Imperium row is stacked. This is Treachery. I'm going to highlight this one. It's basically a power play that also deploys 2 troops to the conflict when it is trashed. So if you just play it, you gain 2 influence instead of 1, then it trashes itself, and then you deploy 2 troops to the conflict. Which is nuts. And then we have Lady Jessica, still one of the best cards in the game. We have Chani, who's just okay. We have Smuggler's Lapter, which has been improved with the latest edition of Ix, and the addition of the smuggling and interstellar shipping. And we have some voice. We have the voice out here. Good stuff. I mean, this is going to be quite the cutthroat game. Looks like Helena won the first battle, which is good when you are 3rd place in the first round and able to win a combat for a point. So they go up to 2 points, or will go up to 2 points. I'm not in their voice chat. I'm not listening to them talk, so I don't know what they're talking about. I'm just going to surmise what they're talking about, and hopefully someone points out the points here in a second. They'll fix it. So Harkonnen's going to drop 4. Big Harkonnen drop into the Fremen track to get Hardy Warriors 4 in, and revealing the Spacing Guild and the Fremen That's pretty standard. This lets the Baron both go right to interstellar shipping. That's why the Baron, you can tell why the Baron went to interstellar shipping, or sorry, to fold space in round 1, so that they could drop some troops into the conflict round 2 and get the second influence. Very strong play. It's a good way to play the Baron too in the expansion. That leaves a lot of options open for this player, and they can now Dune Desert Planet up the shipping track, which I'm guessing is going to be probably their next play. Helena is going to dagger up to the new Hall of Oratory space, Tech Negotiation. Always good space, one of my favorite new spaces. And buy Memo Quarters, which gives her an influence, and at the end game, if she has 3 influence on 4 or more, or 4 of the influence tracks, it's worth a point. So quite strong. Now is sort of priced into moving up those tracks as much as possible. We shall see. We have Ecaz thinking their best plays here. Going fourth as Ecaz, I think, is one of the toughest positions to be in, though this player has already managed to get one of the most powerful cards in the new expansion within the Shadows. This is looking like, okay, we're going to seek allies, or where are we heading? Over to select the breeding? No, to fold space. Okay. So we're going to get some fold space going on. And let's see if he trashes the seek allies, or not trashes the seek allies, I'm sorry. If the next play we go with reconnaissance over to Arrakeen or Carthag, probably to Arrakeen to draw another card. We can see that everything's in here. They've got In the Shadows and a space travel. Very good pickups early on. So they'll remain flexible throughout. Ilban is going to do a little bit of smuggling, triggering the money. Of course they want the money, and he's going to get an extra buck from the ring because he's Ilban. He manufactures stuff. Baron Harkonnen is going to jump up to, the interstellar shipping, just like I thought. Seems like the strongest play for the Baron. Just get ahead on that track, aim to hit it again next round, and there's no one currently like pressuring you on the guild track, so you could, depending on what comes up next in the conflict deck, just kind of start running away with the shipping track. And if you do that, if you get a couple of hits on the shipping track and nobody stops you, you can start pulling ahead a little bit. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. Helena's turn. We're looking at a signet ring here, probably trying to maybe, can they get to 5? Ooh, this is a tough call. Helena doesn't have enough for a Mentat, so it looks like there's going to pull the best card out of the row so nobody gets it. That's what I would guess she's going to do, is just grab Jessica out of the row so nobody has a chance of getting Jessica. Or not, or reserving the treachery with 1, 2, 3, 4 buy, 5 buy, and 1 for the ring. And that's a perfect treachery at 6 buy, and Helena can get that because, well, she's Helena, and Helena is a little bit busted. Okay, we've got a reconnaissance from Ecaz, probably going to Carthag. Yep, Carthag, always one of the best backup places to go to, and maybe throw a couple of guys in here, right? 3 guys in, try to win this point, Terrible Porpoise, as I call it. It is, of course, Terrible Purpose, which is, Paul's calling, that he has both to be a horrible human or horrible person and also lead this righteous cause that is also fraught with corruption. Just a little lore for you Dune fans out there. All right, and we got a Secret Forces pulled by Ecaz going to Carthag. If you have a high council seat, you can just get 2 troops. Very strong pickup, and Ecaz is probably looking at a persuasion build here. Perhaps, maybe not. It's a little hard to tell so early, but In the Shadows and still, Dagger's still in there. But the space travel could definitely help with that. And what have we got here? We've got Ilban has gone in. Okay, so Smuggler's Thopter for the Baron. Great pickup. Great pickup. Yeah, if I had to choose someone at the moment who I think is their game plan is starting to look like a coherent plan. It might be the Barons right now because they have the Smuggler slot there. They've got the 2 influence in the shipping, or in the Spacing Guild rather, and they've got just a really solid lead with the influence tracks. They're a force to be reckoned with. Then of course Helena, you can never count out Helena, who's already got a point from conflict. And if the Baron wins this conflict, then we're going to see a little bit of a gap between player 1 and player 2. Though they definitely need to check the points. We'll see if they catch it. I don't want to interfere with their match, though. All right, we have Embedded Agent coming out here. Embedded Agent not looking super great for anyone except for maybe Ecaz right now because of the voice pickup, and I believe Helena picked up the Bene Gesserit Initiate early on, so that could be an okay pickup for them. Also, it's a green space that can't be blocked, so it's kind of redundant with Helena, but just snatching that out of the row could be nice as well. Okay, we have some seeding, and it looks like Baron will take this combat, going up to an early 4 points. And yeah, that's a pretty big gap already, and we'll see what happens. Actually, remember, red is actually 2 points here. And it is too early to say because everyone essentially is, very, very likely to get up to 4 points pretty quickly. The Baron has only just jumped up 2 points that they're almost guaranteed in a game to get, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's just the 1 point ahead. So if you look at it this way, Helena and the Baron are kind of tied right now, whereas Ilban and Armand Ecaz are kind of tied in second. So it's like a first and second race right now. However, we have another point, Siege of Arrakeen, coming out. And right now, you know what? It's looking pretty good for Ecaz. This might be a go turn for Ecaz. Also could be for Helena, who has a Bene Gesserit Initiate to draw another card. Let's see, they have a convincing argument in their deck's the only card left, which is lovely that it shows me what that is because I don't have to count all of their cards, but it's convincing argument. And so if they do draw with the Bene Gesserit Initiate, which are very likely they're going to do, they'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by, which means they can pick up the Appropriate if they are interested, or the Embedded Agent, or a Jameis, and probably that's it. If they can manage to get, oh yeah, I think they're going to get Jessica. So this actually could be a crazy turn of events. So the dagger up to the tech negotiation space gives Helena an extra persuasion for this round. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, after Helena plays the Bene Gesserit Initiate, they will get to 7, grabbing the Lady Jessica probably before anyone else. Let's see what else we have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what? It could be worth it if Ilban decides to early reveal, and that will be a big shame for the Helena chess player if Ilban decides that it's in his best interest to do that. Ecaz is now going over to Imperial Basin, getting a couple of spice. It's a fine play. It looks like Ecaz is setting up to take some of these tech. We didn't really take a look at these. We should. Spaceport, 5 spice for 2 cards. You may put cards you acquire on top. And Restricted Ordnance if you have a High Council seat for battle power for swords, which is very good for these 2 characters. They usually end up with a High Council seat. Shuttle Fleet, just a strong card. If you can get it early, it's basically you never need to go to another money space for the rest of the game kind of card. Pretty insane. And yeah, that just basically means you can have Mentat every round, right? So we'll see what's going on with Ecaz here. There's nothing really. Yeah, they might play the Signet Ring, picking Jameis up. That's a strong pick. Yeah, back to what we were doing. We have the Baron. Remember that I said that the interstellar shipping is very, very strong if the Baron can hit it a couple more times. Notice that Ecaz very, very shrewdly blocks that space, so that the Baron can't do that. And so they are more likely to do it. Are they? Can even get there? Not quite. But we'll see what they have in mind here. They might be able to actually do it. No, they can't do it. They would have to, in the shadows to the Mentat, and then go up one space and then go there, but even still, Harkonnen would be able to get there in time. So we'll see what they're going to do, but it was a pretty shrewd play just to mess up their turn order, if nothing else. Helena did exactly what I said, drew with the Bene Gesserit Initiate, now has 7, and is sitting pretty to buy that Lady Jessica, that sweet, sweet mother of Paul Muad'Dib, who is one of the best cards in the game. Ooh, all right, Ecaz is getting some combat on here. We have some pretty strong intrigue cards in their hands, and does use the Signet Ring to pick up the Jameis, so that's pretty strong. So Ecaz might be pivoting into a combat-based deck here. There aren't a whole lot of combat cards out. Oh, Jome Dictatorship is now out. Jeez, I don't know. It's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts Imperium row, honestly. I think this red player here, AaronKalder, I think is the player is doing a very good job managing his hand. And Horsehead is also playing very good defensive 4th player. But here goes the Baron up the shipping, goes down and up. He's going to trigger a bunch of stuff. He's got no spice, so he's going to have to take some spice and then probably take restricted ordnance. That would be my guess, since there's nothing else to take. So go up spice, go up on one track, 2 guys, and then take the restricted ordnance for 4, which is good, and kind of banking on later on that they will have the money for the High Council seat. But at the moment, we're not really sure if they're going to be able to do that. I mean, that's a little ways away. The Baron tends to spend a lot of Solari with the Signet Ring, and they picked up a Finesse, which is a fine card, not a great plot card, but a fine card. Looks like they are actually going to walk it back. What's happening here? What are they looking at here? Yeah, so there's a confusion here about how this works. Yeah, that it doesn't block the whole round. Yeah, so this is maybe just a slightly unsure about how that interaction works, but the voice says choose any board space. Opponents can't send their next agents there this round. It means that you have once around the table, essentially, and the voice is over. So it blocks a space until your next turn. So the green player could then hold that space for themselves with the voice, but you can't tell people they can't go there for the entire round. It's just once around the table, which admittedly is a little bit confusingly worded, and it has been clarified by the designer that that's how that works. But yep, going to take the restricted ordnance, as I said, revealing a Sonic Snoopers. I like this card a lot, this tech a lot for how cheap it is. It gives you an intrigue, and it gives you potentially more flexibility at the end of the game if you need to find some better cards and you have a bunch of crap intrigue cards in your hand. So we'll see. There is the pickup of Lady Jessica, and that is looking very scary. Now red, the Helena player, is sitting on 2 influence with the spacing. Yeah, it's pretty nuts here. We've got Ecaz revealing, going up once with the sisters, Bene Gesserit, and playing it, or showing a dagger and a Dune, not buying anything. It's kind of a sad buy turn, honestly, which is unfortunate, but I guess it's counterbalanced by the fact that the Signet Ring picked up a Jameis anyway. so it doesn't really matter. So Ilban is going to Diplomacy. I don't know why that went in the discard pile. It shouldn't be in the discard pile. It should be in play. To, looks like Wealth. Okay. Gonna get some wealth. Go up on that track. And then the Baron's going to reveal for a total of 3. Anything here that he wants to pick up? No. Might just pick up an Arrakis Liaison, but probably Arrakis Liaison if he's going to go for a Persuasion build. Still a good card. Still a fine card. Going to use his plot card right now to cull that dagger out. So you can see right now that the Baron is going for more of a Persuasion build, looking to buy some Spice Must Flows a little bit later. And so that puts him in a good position to kind of like avoid combat in the last couple of rounds, or just to get a couple of combat points. He's already gotten 1 combat point, so maybe like 1 more, and he could start buying Spice Must Flows, and that would be kind of enough. We'll see how that works. Now we have combat. Everyone has revealed, and the only people who have cards are blue, who's not in the combat, and green, who's winning the combat, so we're not going to see anything played. Ilban will buy Appropriate from the row, and the Guild Ambassador, one of the very, very, very strong, unique Spacing Guild cards to come out. And yeah, no one currently has an alliance, but blue is kind of sitting pretty, looking at that alliance, going, ooh, I could use that Guild Ambassador right now. Also, Helena wouldn't mind it. Although the big problem is if you buy this Guild Ambassador, you're not getting any purchase power for Spice Must Flows, so it kind of goes against the Baron's choices here. We'll see what they do. Green is going to pick up the win. Yep, and red has forgotten that they still have a point. They actually are at 3 points. But we are unable to interact with that in any meaningful capacity. Okay, so let's see. First player this round is going to be Ecaz. Ecaz has a pretty good hand. We've got Diplomacy. We've got a Fold Space. Fold Space going to be drawing one of these 3 cards here. Not sure what they've got. They've already called a dagger out, so it looks like it's going to be a Dune Desert Planet, or one of the other cards. Is a convincing argument in here? It could be a convincing argument of Dune or one of their other purchased cards, which I did not admittedly follow as closely as I probably could. And then we have a very strong turn for Ilban, who might be able to jump ahead on the Fremen track, or just get a point and get up on Fold Space, which is probably what they'll do. I imagine this power play is going to go straight to Fold Space. And, oh, it is not. It is getting blocked. Rough times. Okay, that was a very shrewd block from Ecaz. Very, very well played. Getting up to that shipping track so that they can go to interstellar shipping and block yellow. But I think the Baron has something to say about that with the Smuggler's Thopter. Smuggler's Thopter going to go up and then probably down, and then draw 2 cards and get a bunch of stuff. Very strong from the Baron. This card has gotten so much better with the shipping track. So now thinking, what are we going to do with this power play? We've got a Signet Ring as well. I might just, dagger to the Mentat and wait and see what happens, because this is a very strange, awkward position for you as Ilban, and you want to start drawing more cards. You don't really want... You have all of your agents, and you really, really want more cards in your hand today, in this play, because you're going to play this, not get anything back, and so then you're going to have to play something else. And if someone else takes, if Ecaz takes the Mentat as their second action, you are going to be out of luck, entirely out of luck. Some of the other things they could do is they could always go to the research station, but it's always better to use that to get spice, and that is what Ilban is going to choose. I think this is also a fine play. The 6 spice is just too hard to say no to, definitely. The only reason that I was saying they would probably not want to do that just yet has to do with the fact that no other player at the table had 2 water, and so unless they were holding a very sneaky intrigue card that gave them a free water, they probably wouldn't have to worry about that. So Ilban could probably have taken their time. Obviously, we know what they have. So, you know, perfect information being what it is. That said, I think that's a fine play. I think that Ilban definitely does need to draw cards with the Mentat next round or next action. And if Ecaz gets it, which they might do because they want to trigger their trashing ability, that could kind of mess with Ilban's plans. Maybe going for, I don't know at that point, drawing more cards with the selective breeding. That might work. That's not a great play though. You want your power play to really have a punch. So maybe he's thinking about going to Highliner. That must be what he's thinking, right? Ilban's going to be going up to Highliner, dropping a bunch of guys, getting a point, and then next round, I guess, going to Interstellar Shipping. But as I said, Smuggler's Thopter from the Baron, drawing a bunch of cards, triggering a bunch of things, doing that Baron kind of thing. Very strong play. They're looking like they're going to buy a Spice Must Flow this round. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. And they're sitting at 8 Solari. So a smart play here would be to perhaps fold space up to High Council, get your extra 2, buy a Spice Must Flow, and start taking over. Start taking over the game. Win it on your terms instead of with combat. That's probably what I would do. But here we go. We have bunch of good options for Helena as well. We got a Treachery in hand, which might just be revealed and then later trashed. I usually like to use my Treachery once, reveal it, and then the next time I draw it, use it for its agent ability, and then get 2 more troops so you kind of can anticipate when you're going to get it. The Signet Ring here can pull the Guild Ambassador, and I think that's it. I don't think anyone really cares about directorship, not dictatorship, but it could be anymore so much. But you know, I don't know. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 purchased. Yeah, so taking the Guild Ambassador just seems like the smartest play. You'll get them up on the track, although no way to actually trigger this alliance effect right now due to the fact that blue is camping a couple of spaces above. So we'll just see how that works. Red's still not getting their Swordmaster. Blue, red, and green waiting to get that. And yellow sitting with 3 agents and the ability to really cause some havoc. So we got a fold space down to, where did they go? Where did Ecaz go? We've got one here. Oh, all the way up here. I missed it. I'm sorry. Up to Tech Negotiation. And looks like he picked up Shuttle Fleet this round and revealing a Hollow Projector. So Hollow Projector is a great way to work on that Spice Must Flow strategy. Shuttle Fleet, just an all-around great card. So going to get them a couple of influence. Looks like in BG and spacing, so that they can actually do the spacing stuff they wanted to. I think it was spacing. Maybe it was the Emperor. We've got a dagger from Kostas, and Kostas going up to go. All right, here we go. Some Dreadnought action. Here we are. Let's get your Dreadnoughts and get some tech. This is a great time to do so. I still don't think this is the right play. I still think the play was to Mentat and then possibly to High Council this turn. Getting the Hollow Projector is also fine. The big problem with this is you don't have anything that triggers Hollow Projectors. I think I might be wrong. But there's really, maybe there was one card that they bought and I missed it that they could trigger with Hollow Projectors, but I didn't see it. All right, it is Baron Harkonnen's turn, and Harkonnen is thinking probably using this fold space for something. They've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and they're going to try to buy So I'm guessing this is going to either be to Swordmaster or High Council. My guess is High Council. Or just reveal. Whoa, what? Oh, okay, for Chom. All right, so revealing 8 for Chom. Interesting play. We'll see if that pays off. It's definitely going to help. It's going to get him ahead on the guild track in case they were worried that Helena might drop some treachery. They're definitely paying attention to that. And going up every track, still strong, but I think just that lack of agent abilities in the expansion hurts more because the games tend to be more frenetic and high power for agent turns. But maybe it will come back to, it won't bite them in the butt. So it's Helena's turn, and we've got, let me get this arranged right so you can see everything. There we go. Okay, we've got diplomacy. I'm sorry, was that a signet ring? No, it is a diplomacy. Diplomacy up to still suits, getting a water, and tossing a guy in. I mean, this is, if they can win this battle for one troop, that's great. The problem is they're not going to, because Ilban has a dreadnought. So Ilban's going to take this one most likely, unless something weird happens. Blue just decided to reveal to get rid of that. I guess they were a little bit worried that they would draw a dagger from here, though I think that if they had just used fold space to Mentat, they would have drawn 2 cards, very likely to just hit what they wanted either way. So has red, did red get, no, red didn't get skipped, okay. Looks like green, Ecaz reveals, showing space travel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 buy, picks up embedded agent, very strong for them. They have a couple of Bene Gesserit cards, as I mentioned earlier. And then we've got Ilban giving up the combat. And AaronKalder is definitely not happy with that, or is happy with that because he's going to get 2 into the conflict. Maybe a little not happy because he's got to destroy them, essentially. So maybe that's kind of a problem. Maybe kind of like, why did you do that? Why didn't you just go into the combat? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I would have probably gone in just to pressure them and held the dagger. That would have been 3, 4, 5, 6 power instead of 6 here. If nothing else, it keeps them from winning a point, and you're already behind. You're already far behind on this. Another option is to take power play and throw power play into Hardy Warriors and just get it, So I'm a little confused. I guess maybe that was they're holding the power plays for later, but I don't think they should. I'm a little bit worried that it's gonna be too little, too late at that point. With Ilban not getting any points off of that one. And still sitting pretty low on the influence tracks, not really prioritizing them, kind of giving up some influence for maybe a better economy in the future rounds, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It is round 5, so all right, we've got Ilban going up to conspire, get a bunch of money, get some troops and an intrigue card. Definitely want to get in on the intrigue. As some of the other players have some fairly strong intrigue cards, though Ecaz needs to turn his on by going to the High Council. Probably going to get blocked this round because that's either the Baron going to High Council or the Baron going to Mentat and then to High Council, or neither, or just shipping. Shipping is good too. Go ahead, Baron. Yep, shipping. When you can take shipping, I think you just do it. It's just too strong. So Ilban's probably going to be looking at taking that High Council seat to draw a card, and then what? Hoping they hit something good off of their draw. They have a potential to just discard a card and draw again. So lots of potential here for Ilban. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or they might just want to like use this to buy some tech. And the tech right now is snoopers, detonation devices. They might be looking at that, eyeing that detonation devices because they've got that dreadnought. However, I wonder if that's too little too late. Are you going to be able to churn through a couple of battles with the dreadnought and use detonation devices? I just think it might be too many steps. So yeah, it looks like Ecaz, who I thought had 4 Solari. I thought Ecaz had 4 Solari. How did that happen? Well, I'm gonna trust them. Looks like they're figuring out their stuff, so I'll let them figure it out. That seems weird. Maybe I missed it, but maybe I see. Actually, okay. Oh, round start. Forgot his round start trigger. That's what happened. Okay. So then Ilban's going to be looking at, what do I do now? I guess I'm going to go buy something from Ix, right? And there's probably going to be detonation devices. I can't imagine it's going to be spaceport. Is it going to be spaceport? No. You can't even buy spaceport, right? Oh, I guess you can. Detonation devices for Solari. Yep. Okay. Solid. Now you have to turn that into points. It's a good card. It's a really good tech. It's one of my favorites, but you got to turn it into a point. Okay, Baron's going to go get the extra agent with the Swordmaster. And now Helena going to probably seek allies somewhere. Oh no, already planned out. I'm interested to see what this is going to be. Oh, it is Swordmaster, of course. You cannot block Helena. So always a good turn to just follow, make them have to make the first move. No problem with that. Okay, Ecaz. What's Ecaz got going on here? I gotta say, pretty strong position for Ecaz from a points perspective. Having a little bit of trouble with their deck. Kind of not behaving. Yeah, there we go. So wealth. We're going to go wealth. Draw a card. Let's see what they get here. It's a mandatory draw. It is a what is going on here? There we go. All right, we got there. It's a diplomacy. It's not an option. You must draw a card, and you must trash the card. You can't choose not to, even if you don't want to draw the card. You must draw it. Okay. So Ilban's going to be reconnoitering somewhere in the cities. Gonna guess, well, they might want some water here. Go to Siege Tabor, maybe? Is that what you do? Go to Carthage. Carthage's always good. Carthage might be the play just for the intrigue cards. The draw here is kind of miserable. Yeah, I think this is good. This is better than Arrakeen. Having the four persuasion here lets you buy either Desert Ambush, Shifting Allegiances, or just a simple Arrakis Liaison, so you don't really worry about that. That's not really the best thing to see. Look at the top card of your deck, draw it, or trash it. There are no top cards of the deck, so you can't do that. We've got another rules combination here, discussion. Players not sure how that works. If you can't look at the top card of your deck if it is empty. You can't shuffle your discard pile and form a new deck until you need to draw a card. There it is, right in the FAQ. So don't do that. Put it back in your hand. Meanwhile, the Baron is just extending this very, very palpable lead. Although they're very close here, green and blue, Baron and Ecaz going at it. Yes, and the Baron's sitting here thinking, yeah, I can probably win this, although they're going to run into, if green wants to go in here, if Ecaz wants to go in here, he probably could win it. Because they have the High Council, they have 2 troops, or are they out of guys? They're out of guys. Never mind. Ignore me. They're out of agents. So it is now Helena's turn. And we've got a couple of choices for Helena. Some very, very good choices. Looks like it's going to be the Seek Allies. Very interesting that this player has kept the Seek Allies this long. I think that actually is a fine play because in the expansion there are better low-costed cards that you don't really need the persuasion for. In the base game, I'd say it might be better to just use it. However, having that extra access to a faction just like floating through your deck for when you really need it is much, much stronger than if you just use it right away and you got like a water for it. You know, turning it into a water is fine. But here, turning it into a water and potentially a third place in this combat is a little bit better, right? So Ecaz reveals. Gonna buy a Chani, revealing a Shai Hulud. A very strong new card from Ix expansion. And one that you definitely don't want to see players with a bunch of Arrakis Liaisons getting, because they are very likely to turn it on all the time. Oh my goodness, lots of these power cards. Guild Bankers shows up. Guild Bankers would be quite strong for the Baron Harkonnen, because they are going to be starting to buy some points with Spice Must Flow. So, gotta be a little worried that got revealed. And the Baron, however, the Baron does not have any way to buy it this round. So there is a silver lining for all the other players, and they're not going to see their points just get gobbled up, though. Ilban needs to be doing something here. Got the Shai Hulud. 4, 5, 6. What? 4, 5, 6. How did that happen? I'm not going to interfere, but what it looks like is that card, maybe I'm missing something here. They play a card. I only see 6 purchase power. Am I missing something? No, I'm not sure how they bought that. Wait. Still a little confused how they managed to do that. Maybe reconnaissance was being... I'm not really sure. Maybe they'll sort this out here in a second. Playing fast, everyone's nerves are getting a little bit to them, I think. I don't think that this player could have purchased this card with 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they don't have an agent on tech negotiation, so I'm not seeing how that's happening. I assume they meant to do this. We lost blue. Blue will come back. Trying to see how that actually makes any sense, but maybe you're screaming at me through the computer saying, well, obviously he did this, but I'm not seeing how the extra persuasion was calculated here. And it is actually a pretty big deal. Oh, okay. Thank you. It's too fast for me. Too fast for me. All right, all is good. All is good. Got some combat resolution here. We had a second wave with 2 deployed troops from Ilban. We have a finesse for... whoa. And that is it. That's how it's going to resolve, looks like. With yellow getting second place... Blue getting first place, taking a couple of shipping and a troop. I like this one a lot. This is a very interesting conflict. Blue going to take the influence with the Emperor from the shipping track. All right, and they've seeded the spice, and the next round is up. This is going to be round 6, the last round before the level 3 conflicts come up. And one thing that I want to make very clear here is that the turn order is still super important. Helena will have the first action in that round during the first conflict, level 3, and then Ecaz will have the second, and in the 8th round, or have the first action in the 8th round, excuse me. Very strong hand from Ecaz. Wow, okay, so we've got quite the game right now. Yellow might even be able to pull back in here. Ilban is not out of the game. He's holding a convincing, or holding this pretty strong power play. Can he use it to pull ahead of anyone right now? Actually, he can. He can use it on the Emperor track to take that point. Pretty good. And it looks like the Baron's just going to move up, get some more points as usual, get their influence from that track, and just go about their business. They are sitting at 8 points right now, looking the strongest. And we'll see if they're gonna go for a purchase this round. They're not really quite set up for it. They have 6. If they draw one of their 2 persuasions and use this to go to the High Council, maybe that would work. I guess if they drew a 1, they just have to draw a 1 persuasion card, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah. Also possible Baron's Mentatting this round. It is Red's turn. It is Helena's turn to come back here, and we're looking at a pretty, very, very strong hand for all these players. I'm not exactly sure what their plan is with this round, but Red might want to try to buy a Spice Must Flow, win this combat. Can Blue win it this round? I don't think so. I think we'd have to see something very strange happen for that to transpire. So Red is going to go to tech negotiation, put their negotiator down on Ix. Whoa, that was one too many cards. Now it definitely has enough for Spice Must Flow. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 purchase. Instead decides instead of going for the tech negotiator, just going to purchase this for 3 minus 1. That's I don't think that doesn't work that way. What? What? No, it's not both. We'll have to take a look at that, and the players are going to have to police themselves. But one thing I want to note here is that it looked like Red went up here to the tech negotiation and got both of the bonuses, or maybe they had 4. I thought they had 3, 4, 5. I don't see how they did that. Again, probably screaming through your TV screen, your computer screen. What the hell? But, it's a lot to pay attention to. So we've got an In the Shadows finally being used for its agent action. And heading over to Mentat. Discarding a card. Discarding the dagger. Drawing a card. And now maybe going to decide if they're going to trigger the discard, rather. Doesn't look like it. Okay, Poison Snooper being used. Finding a power play seems good. Wow. Yellow just basically can take away an alliance from either blue or green this turn. Probably now blue. And looks like that might be what they're going to do. Oh no, sorry, from green. Wow, from green. That's rough. Green sitting at 6 points. Yep, fixed that. The double cross. Yellow suddenly looking like a powerhouse this round, although they need to turn some of these cards into points. The power play to wealth is going to be a good way to do that. But then they need to win this combat, or they could end up with getting locked out of that alliance. AaronKalder pointing out they need to trash that card. It is a trashing effect. Must trash it. as I go back and rewatch this video and edit it, I will make some comments if there have been any rules mistakes or anything that the players did. But I'm again trying not to police their play. This should be their play, and they are on their own. If somebody misses something or somebody makes a mistake, it is on them, largely. So just don't want there to be some weird goof, like a missed point or something like that. Okay, Helena's going to ring. And can put cards on top of their deck. So very shrewdly can go to Arakeen. Can't quite buy the things yet, but... don't want to go to Arakeen here, do you? Where do you want to go if you're Helena? Probably just want to draw 3 cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you can get to 16, I don't know if they're able to, but maybe they are. Just thinking about it. Might be the Great Flat. Great Flat sits at 4 spice right now. Pretty juicy spice. 3 spice over at Imperial Basin, which might be the better play because it doesn't cost any water. And that might be the play because right now Chomurky showed up. Chomurky, one of the more sought after techs, due to the fact that it wins tiebreakers at the end of the game. And so if you are just trying to advance to the next round, the next round of this tournament, you just need to play second until I think the 3rd round, and then only single players advance. So in this round, only the first 2 players on this table will advance. And so it might be worth it to do something like that to get that Chomurky. Just to guarantee the fact that you want to be able to win the tie. Oh, and look, all right. So it sounds like Helena is thinking the same way I am. We're still not sure. Okay. Also a good play. Going up 1. Gonna pull the bankers out. Thinking about it. Yep. Okay. And we see a Court Intrigue revealed. Court Intrigue, one of the new Emperor cards. Put one of your Intrigue cards on the bottom of the deck in order to draw new Intrigue cards. A very solid 2-card, 2 Persuasion card, and great for Ecaz if they can get it early, but it is a different game. Ecaz goes straight over to Fold Space, draws a card. Sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7 Persuasion. Not quite enough. Wants to get 2 more. They have that magic number 9. Ilban is going to power play. I honestly am a little bit surprised. I know that Ilban wants to clearly win this, right? And if they win this, they can take a point from green and they can resolve their detonation devices for another point. So going up to 4. 1, 2. Isn't that 2 right now? Could go up to 4. Always has that hollow projectors in case they want to get rid of something. So they are sitting at 9 Persuasion right now for a potential Spice Must Flow. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll see what happens. It is always a little awkward when you have draw cards, but you have exactly the amount you need in your hand. You don't have any extra to play with and extra cards to play with. Strong Arm is going to be a pretty bold play here. So we could see Strong Arm taking away one of these influences, one of these agents. One of these alliances. And we don't know. Well, that's going to be interesting to see what they do. I am interested to see what Ilban's going to do here. The amount of potential plays with Strong Arm, lose a troop to gain an influence with a faction whose board space you sent an agent this turn. So if you send an agent to it, you can go up. You can potentially go up with Fremen or with the Emperor. pretty good. Maybe the plan is to take the Emperor alliance away, go up here with the winning the combat, and then since the Baron's going to go last, you'll be able to sneak the last move past them on your first action next round. Maybe that's the play. Anyway, Helena is going to get some money. And it looks like they might go up to the High Council. In fact, they will. Very strong. And now they have enough for Spice Must Flow as well, turning that Lady Jessica into 2 cards and 2 Persuasion. Not much of a downgrade from its reveal ability. And just a little bit of clarification, someone saying, how could you do that? I'm Helena and I can cheat. So that's how it works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a dagger. So Helena going to give up this combat. None of these players currently sitting with any particular kind of extra points in hand. It's going to be one strictly off the back of your strong play. There's not going to be any randomness at the moment that we can see. There is, of course, the memo quarters for Helena, but Helena is not even close to having that turned on. So it is basically a 2 spice for 1 influence. Helena's got to get quite a bit going on with the Emperor, but quite a bit going on with the Bene Gesserit, a little behind in terms of the faction tracks. Okay, so we're going to see Strong Arm played. Can lose a troop from the garrison if he wants. He's going to take that alliance away. Now, Red is pointing out that he doesn't have to lose a troop from the combat, but that he can actually lose a troop from the garrison, I'm assuming. Losing a troop means you can lose it from anywhere on the board, so here or here, it's fine. Either way, it looks like green is going to be going... Oh, I'm so sorry, and I am mistaken. Gain 1 influence with a faction whose board space you sent an agent to this turn, not this round. There's another card that works this round, but this one is this turn. It has to be right when you play it, and so Strong Arm does not work. What a blowout, actually, and quite a misread. I apologize for that misread. There are a bunch of new cards in the game, and I have not seen every Intrigue card up close and personal. Even though I own the game, I have not been able to get to the table as much as possible, and so I haven't seen everything. And sometimes, normal, regular old cards from the base game come up, and you just don't see those new cards. What a bummer. And honestly, Red, lucky, very nice, good sport for pointing that out, because it actually went against their play, because they're battling currently with green for second place. Red going to reveal for Spice Must Flow. We are at the last bit here. It's going to be time to turn the jets on. Here comes a Spice Must Flow from Red, from Helena. Now Helena or Ecaz should start thinking about picking up Chomurky or Holtzman Engine if they can purchase a second one. Wow. Yeah, that's solid. Goes right on top of the deck. Helena is looking at a very, very powerful turn next round. They're able to purchase Spice Must Flow, the Spacing Guild, what is it called? The Bankers, and a Liaison, which is right on top, and it looks like we're going to see a Treachery as well. So Helena looking like they're going to have a very strong next round, as long as Baron Harkonnen doesn't just eke out a very passive win here. There's a late to the party Kwisatz Haderach, which nobody cares about at this point. It is not even worth taking a look at. You're not going to see it. Ecaz's deck is not quite small enough to be able to draw that. But Ilban's is pretty strong, actually. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 11 cards in the deck. An ability to draw an extra card as well. So yeah, looking good. Looking good. This is going to be quite the finish. And I think we have combat now. And it should be at blue, and blue must have passed. Oh no, it is reveal for yellow. Apologize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 purchase. 4, anything? Probably not. It's just going to not bother. It's definitely too late to purchase anything useful unless it gives you an immediate bonus. Opting to hold the double cross in hand for the next round, knowing that the game is not going to end this round. So that's pretty smart, keeping this potential winning card in hand. So looks like yellow is going to win, is going to get rid of their dreadnought, send it away, get the point with the detonation devices, go up to 4 points, go up 1 more space, take away an alliance. Yep, there goes the dreadnought. Yep. Is there a detonation? There it is. They found it. So now Ilban has to make a couple of tough choices here. Does he go up in one of the faction spaces he does not have any points, or does he try to take away the Emperor Alliance? And it looks like he's taking away the Emperor Alliance from green. Harsh. Very, very harsh. The reason I say it's harsh is like perhaps yellow sees themselves as a potential second place here. They should be at 5. And they're now going to take their chances getting to second place instead of bothering to go against blue. And it turns out that since blue drew Know Their Ways anyway, that was just a fool's errand anyway. So definitely a smart play by yellow, a smart play that we'll see if it pays off. Now Helena sitting on 3 water, and a very awkward turn where they don't really have a good way to trigger or to get to the research station, because they have to give up 2 persuasion to do that, and they don't want to do that this turn. The Baron sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 persuasion. Baron not able to really use their water except to get some spice, although they might do that. They might just drop some highliner here. Dropping highliner would seal the deal on the spacing guild, and it isn't like that was going to really get challenged anyway. I suppose that if not careful, Ilban could lose the alliance, but with this kind of a hand from Ecaz, that doesn't look super likely. They are sitting on a very good Bene Gesserit turn, though. And so we've got a Truthsayer play, discarding Dagger perhaps into Embedded Agent to get up this track, maybe trigger some things. The Truthsayer unfortunately can't be used to go up 1 there, so I'll have to figure out this is a very awkward hand, I have to say, for the Ecaz player. They've got a bunch of desert symbols and green symbols and Bene Gesserit and Emperor symbols. But what they really want now is some combat symbols, and they don't really they want blue symbols. So they're lacking in blue symbols. which is not great. So looks like Helena is going to draw 3 cards. No use bothering to use Guild Ambassador here. Not for the reveal. Probably just going to play it to get the Mentat if possible, but lacking a little bit of money right now. So we'll see what their plan is. Lady Jessica redraw is always nice. So Ecaz is going to go shipping, looks like. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about this. You can go shipping and then just hit up the Swordmaster. That actually is probably the best play, is just to go shipping twice, up, down, get the Swordmaster, get the Mentat, or get the Mentat, then the Swordmaster. Mentat first. I don't know how I feel about that play. This space is going to be gone. Interstellar shipping is going to be gone. There's no doubt about that. But they're going to get a draw, and they get a convincing argument. Not really what they wanted. And they get a signet ring. Does that help? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 purchase. Very close. Very close. So what we're looking at here is a race for second place. The Baron in the second position has taken control and is just been sailing through. The early win of Terrible Purpose into just influence, and then the Spice Must Flow has put them way ahead. And this is sort of like a non-interactive way of doing it. You basically just jam the tracks and try to start buying every Spice Must Flow possible. They're going to have a little bit of a trouble doing that this round, though. So it's possible that the game won't end, but if Baron gets second place, it will. We shall see. And Ilban is going for it. This is going to be met with a swift retribution from the Know Their Ways and the Baron Harkonnen's hand. There's not much they can do about that. They are getting the extra water, so perhaps that is good enough. The extra water to get the spice to get the Holtzman engine, perhaps. Maybe. I'm not sure about that. I could see Holtzman being the plan. Chomurky also could just be the plan for the tiebreaker, because it is so close right now. If Ilban goes in here, winning this combat, they are probably going to be guaranteeing second place. If Baron just limps in with like half troops, or just puts all their troops in, they're probably just going to win. So it's now between these 3 players, red, green, and yellow, to determine who's going to advance. And it's all going to come down to spice management, which Ilban seems to have done very well throughout this game. And I have not noted it very much. They were doing great with their Solari management, but doing a little bit lacking in their spice management. Now they have enough spice to drop Highliner. However, no way to do that. And so we have this huge dilemma. Does Ilban go for holo projectors, discarding a dagger to try to draw their access card? Their diplomacy's in here. Do they have another one? And I think the answer is no. I think Ecaz has the other Spacing Guild access card, and it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. The Baron has diplomacied, has thrown the gauntlet, has dropped the Highliner, and is going to just go out saying, you better take this from me or I'm going to win. And there's nothing you can do about it. So now it is a fight for second place. Who is going to get second place? Who is going to advance? So very tough decisions here. Gonna know their ways. Gonna go up. So now if you're yellow, you got to be thinking, how do I actually make this work? So together, green, yellow, and red can potentially sneak out of first place if they so want, but that doesn't really do very much. They won't need to sneak out of first and second place to continue the game. If they can't do that, then Baron's going to win this round. So we have a couple of very important cards in green's hand. We have Desert Ambush. For each troop you deploy this turn, you may force an enemy to retreat, which means you can send back the blue troops back to their garrison. The only problem here is, what if you don't do enough, right? What if you king make yellow, and yellow has just about enough, not quite enough Solari yet, and probably won't, to actually trigger more than one victory point here. So yellow is going to, yellow is just counting their points. 1, 2, 3. Should be at 5. Yep. They have the detonation devices and that. Yep. So just a normal fix. They were actually at 5 the whole time. And it is green's turn, and this is going to be a challenging one. So we see a signet ring to Arrakeen. Okay, Arrakeen looking for some access cards maybe, or a combat card, something that might actually give them some more information. So draw the card, see what you get. Shifting allegiances. Now that is interesting. But there's no way to trigger it. Actually, I take that back. If green is allowed access to interstellar shipping this round, they could trigger it. But they have to take the spice into it. So we'll see. If that happens, green can take the alliance back away from yellow. Or just take their own alliance with BG. I mean, if they just don't care here, I think they probably just want to take it away because it's 1 point. It's a 2-point swing. It's definitely better than just taking 1 point. Now Ilban is thinking about using the hollow projectors with the dagger, discarding the dagger. Dagger is going all over the place. Breaking the rules, man. Stop touching people's cards. And then we've got a bunch of options for the Ilban player. Probably looking at a Water of Life turn. He's drawn Shai Hulud. He needs to find a Fremen. Here is a double cross. Double crossing blue. Okay. Yellow has enough combat potential here. A total of 5. If they can, 5 plus 5 is 10. So if they can get a Fremen card with their Water of Life, oh no, absolutely bonkers choices here. Going to Shai Hulud. To where? Where do you go? Imperial Basin? Or do you ship? Do you go shipping? It's a tricky one. You go Imperial Basin. Okay, get an extra spice. Trigger your effect. Get 2 more troops. Now, this is all well and good, of course. Ilban definitely wants to get in on this combat. The problem is he's only got 1 more agent left, and so the maximum number of troops he'll be able to throw in is 3. So we'll have to see if Siege Tabor and Carthage are occupied, and if those 2 are occupied, they might not be able to get all. Well, I guess that's fine. That's perfect, actually, then. Well played. Okay, so get the 4, the 2 plus the 2. Yep, okay. I miscounted, and they have Exaxes for next round. They can go. They'll have 1 left over if they can go to Carthage or Siege Tabor. Baron is going to respond with Carthage. How many was that? Okay, 9. Yikes. Demand respect. One of those cards you never want to see an opponent get, especially one who is already so far ahead. Helena is going to tech negotiation, get the Holtzman engine. That's an extra point. I think they have 2 Spice Must Flow. I check. Just one at the moment, but they're looking at another one right now, so they will be able to get an extra point. So that's effectively 2 points. One for the purchase of the Spice Must Flow and one for the Holtzman. But will that be enough? 1 point for Ecaz. Ecaz forgoes the Mentat play. Doesn't want to shift allegiances. Wants to buy the Spice Must Flow instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and the 1 from their card. There, where did it go? There it goes. And recruitment mission. Okay. So we have 6 points to 5 points among yellow and red. It is up to them. If that is all, then we are going to see a very bloody battle. I should check what we have revealed here. We have disposal facility, a little late for that one. Sonic Snoopers, nah. Chomurky is the one you want here. Ilban would do well with it. Helena cannot get it. So, Water of Lifetime. I'm going to draw some cards. Very interesting. Double water. And now he can trigger this. Do you want to use this? Strong arm? He's thinking about strong arm. He's looking at it. Wait, he says. Wait, he says. Wait a second. He went too... Yep. Wants to do this. Goes up 1. Okay, here we go. It's not really going to matter with the demand respect. But he has to win a combat for this to happen. So blue has to go all in here. Will it be enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blue sitting at 6 exactly, with red sitting on 2 extra. Combat value. Green with 3 guys and has revealed, so is now sitting at 7. Wait, does not have a faction alliance. Oh, big miscalculation for green. Green only has 5 combat. And did not play Secret Forces. What is happening this game? Secret Forces should have been played. Won't be able to be played now. Has already been revealed. Looks like red might end up taking 2nd place here. Point for red for Spice Must Flow. 2 combat, 2 troops into the combat from Treachery. Treachery gets trashed. Oh no, it does not get trashed. I'm sorry. Just revealed. Interesting. It is now yellow's reveal. Yellow has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 purchase, and there's no reason, I guess, you don't buy that. So it looks like we're going to see blue take this combat, win 2 points, and then we're going to see red reveal, or use their endgame for a point. They should actually have an additional point. They're at 7. We'll see what they do. It's not going to really matter at this point. Green is kind of out of the battle, unfortunately. Sure. Green's going to go down with spacing and just get 5 power. Sure, that's not going to do enough. Yellow is going to reveal to stay on top of it. Reveal the private army. Cannon turrets for the win. It's not going to matter. Just letting them know to check their points. Red should be at 7. Okay, it is a lot to manage in TTS. Sometimes it is you're just fiddling with your deck and you forget about your points, though it's all the same. And so we have points to distribute. Second place is going to go to yellow. Looks like. Before we count end game scoring. And end game scoring is going to trigger a Holtzman engine, putting red to 8. Demand respect. Just so much respect for the Baron. So we're going to see Baron Harkonnen win it. We're going to see red AaronKalder. So Lonk won it. AaronKalder with second place after a very, very tightly fought second battle. Should be at 8 points now. There was another... Yeah, there's the Spice Must Flows. Green and yellow sadly played very, very hard. And I have to say, some really tough plays from green. Hard fought battles. Getting the alliance for the Emperor snaked away. Sort of fighting for last place a little bit. But ended up tying yellow and green. And so quite the fight. Quite the battle. We will take a screenshot. Excellent. It has been done. Very well played by Lonk. One of the strong, I've seen Baron players done a very good job in the second position just to keep churning out faction influence with a very, very shrewd buys with a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards in deck. The Smuggler's Thopter was huge here. The restricted ordnance just paved the way for this last combat, and they weren't even challenged at the end with 26 battle power, 26 strength. Nicely played. Nicely played to our second place and nicely played to our third and fourth place. What a game, guys. What a game. And with what a crazy Imperium row we saw, I'm not surprised that it was that close ultimately for second place. And I think that a couple of those earlier plays to deny the Baron that really strong position with the shipping track, that was really hard. Like, it's really hard to deny the Baron that kind of thing, especially when they reveal spacing guild Fremen, right? Just to get that extra influence. But well played to everyone else, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.